here.
Second here. There we go. There we go.
Cool.
Good to see you, pal.
Good to see you too, man.
It's hot weather. I mean, I know it's a little warm in here today, but you know, it's like I'm trying. I can't help it. All of a sudden, it's like the desert in Pittsburgh recently.
Yeah, this weather's been nuts, definitely.
Can we talk a little bit about the challenge of failure?
Yeah, sure.
Perceived and actual.
Okay.
In terms of entrepreneurial growth, in terms, or even going broader, Rocco, even in terms of goal attainment.
Okay.
I heard you recently speak about the idea of not quitting.
Yeah.
Finding some sort of peace with the failures or challenges to the point where the success breakthrough will come.
Yeah.
And how often people quit right before the break happens.
100%.
And you talk a little bit about yourself in that and starting the business and so forth. I want to hit on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just posted that video today. It was because again, it's I went to that mastermind a couple weeks ago, and they talked a lot about, like, I realized I don't share my story a lot on the videos I do. It's more of just motivational and entrepreneurial, but the story is kind of what made me, right? Like, leaving corporate America, having no clue what I was doing, like literally scared shitless, sitting in a shitty office in Carnegie that I was paying $200 a month for, wondering where the next client was coming from. Like, literally wondering, how was I going to make it? Like, how did I do it? Like, burning through money, using money from investments to just try and make it. But, and I was funny because I had a coffee with someone this morning. We were talking about this. I said, but I just kept moving forward because I was confident in my ability to solve a problem. I'm not the smartest guy in the room. I don't know everything. I'm just confident in my ability to solve a problem. I looked at, okay, what is the next problem I have to solve? And so I just kept moving forward. And I didn't, if I would have looked at where I am now and said, I have to get there, I would have been overwhelmed and I said, I'm done, quit, went and got a job. But I'm like, what's the next thing I need to do? What's the next problem I need to solve? And I just kept doing that. And slowly but surely, you start getting success, you start gaining momentum. But most people, at least in my experience, they look at the big picture and they're looking 10 steps down the road when they're at step one and saying, okay, that's really far. I'm so overwhelmed. I don't know what to do.
Do you have any thoughts on why we do that? Because it seems to be a pretty universal issue.
I mean, look at social media, right? People make entrepreneurship and success seem easy. Like, you see someone come out of nowhere and all of a sudden they're driving a Lamborghini, and meanwhile they're leasing it, and and it's all this stupid shit, and they make it sound like or seem like it's an easy process. It's the hardest thing you will do. It's not difficult. It's just hard. It takes a lot of work and grit and determination, and you have to keep pushing. Like, when it gets harder is when you're about to have the breakthrough. But most people can't take the pain. That's why there's so few entrepreneurs that actually make it, because to get to that point of making it, it is like you are squeezing every bit of life out of yourself. I mean, truly, you are. And I've been there. I've done that. And to the point where, like, there were times where I was like, I was ready to quit. I mean, truly ready to quit. Like, I'd look at my kids and say, what did I do? Did I jeopardize their future? Did I jeopardize their lifestyle? But I just kept trusting in myself, trusting that God had a plan for me, and just kept moving forward.
Was there always a feeling inside that you were on the right path? Because I only asked that because when I did the guitar thing, I had initial success. And then my first lull or my first set of challenges, I had that self-doubt thing, but there was some burning thing in me or in my brain maybe that just reassured myself that I am on this path for a reason. I may not understand it.
Yeah.
It feels like it's killing me right now, but I have to be here because there's a reason behind it.
There were,
I can't understand.
No, there were many, looking back, and I've talked about this on podcasts. There were many moments along the way where I always say it was God telling me to keep going, because right when I was like, fuck this is hard, something would, like, a random thing would happen. Like, there was a point in time, and I'll give you two quick ones. I was at Get-Go in Carnegie, and I was going to a meeting, and it was like something like I had just like 2 deals I thought were coming in, didn't end up coming in. I'm like, shit, like, revenue's down. And I went up, I think I bought like an energy drink and a protein bar, and the bill came to $777. And the cashier's like, that's an angel number. I'm like, what is that? I had no idea what angel numbers meant. She's like, that means someone in heaven's watching over you and saying you're on the right path. So I looked it up. I'm like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool. So that kind of kept me going. And then another time when it was getting really, really hard, right before I had a big breakthrough, there used to be this app called Shaper. It was like Tinder for LinkedIn. You'd meet business connections. So this woman connected with me. She was in like the e-commerce business, and she's like, oh, I'd like to pick your brain. So I met her at Panera in Greentree. And she came in, like, I'm talking about this e-commerce business. She comes in and she's like, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I read energy and I read tarot cards. And she's like, and you have this energy. Do you mind if I do this reading? I'm like, okay. I'm like looking for hidden cameras.
You ever false pretenses?
I don't know what it was, but it was like, but then she does this energy reading, this tarot reading, and she literally told me everything that had happened and literally the things I was thinking the past 6 months. And then at the end, she gets this one card, and I can't remember what it was called, but she's like, this is the best card in the deck. She's like, that means you're on your destiny path. And I was just like, what the? I truly to this day felt like I was on a hidden camera show because I never heard from that woman again. That was it. She's like, okay. She's like, it was great meeting you. Thank you. She's like, I'll reach out if I need any help in the future. That was it. And I was just like, what? Walked out of Panera, never saw her again, never heard from her again. Can't even remember her name.
Wow.
So it was like all these moments where right where I was getting those moments of self-doubt, these things happened. And it just kept me moving forward. And I just said, okay, just take the next step. And I just trusted in my ability and trusted that I was on the path. And it was, looking back, it was pretty wild, man.
How about all those entrepreneurs that are just on the cusp of having that break or getting that break, but they don't get there because they ultimately just get worn out and they quit?
Yeah.
And I know it happens.
Yeah, it does.
I know it happens a lot.
And again, so I always look at it like if you take a step back, were those people truly cut out to be entrepreneurs?
That's a good question.
You know, that's how I look at it, because truly, if you're cut out to be this, you're going to push through anything. You just have that grit and determination that nothing's going to stop you. You can get kicked, beaten, thrown down. You're going to keep getting back up, because that's all it is. Business in entrepreneurship is truly the ability to get back up after every fall and keep moving forward with with vigor and with intensity.
And that should be the definition in Webster's.
I mean, really, that's what it is. It has not been easy. It's been the hardest. And even when you think it's getting easy, new challenges come, but you have to be willing to face it. And some people just aren't. They may try. And I think everybody should try. If you have an itch, you should definitely try, but you may not be cut out for it. That's okay. That is okay. You're not everybody's meant for it.
Agreed.
You have to have a high risk tolerance.
Agreed. For me, I had this crazy moment where if I decided to stay a one-man organization, which is I was hell-bent on doing it, I felt like my ability to maximize revenue was capped.
Yeah.
Because there was only so much I could physically do in the used guitar market.
Sure.
There's only so many used deals I could get and bring in and resell. I just felt there was a ceiling there.
Yeah.
No matter how smart I worked, I had the idea that I thought I could design guitars that the kids would like. I kind of thought I knew what the kids would dig. But all the major manufacturers wouldn't let anyone that has an internet website be a dealer. You had to have a brick and mortar store. That was a hard, fast rule back in '99.
Okay.
Hard, fast rule.
Okay.
The manufacturers, like in many industries, were terrified of the internet. And their dealer networks were really terrified by it, because if they start handing out dealer networks to people in their basements, how are they going to protect their brick and mortar store?
Right. Yeah. No, you're right. 100%.
Did a love letter to Gibson Guitars, got turned down. Love letter to Fender, Paul Reed Smith. I went through 7 major manufacturers, man, over the course of about 2.5, 3 months.
Okay.
And I think you know my story. The last shot I had was the company I had the least amount of respect for.
Yeah.
Washburn Guitars. I just personally didn't like their stuff.
Okay.
But I got the break there. The president of the company gave me the opportunity. I drove there aimlessly, but he saw me and gave me an audience and gave me, for whatever reason, that was the serendipity in it all. But I almost didn't go to Chicago. I almost said, this is crazy. I'm going to drive to Chicago on a whim, 9 hours and 9 hours back. I could be doing other things here, and I've already spent enough time with this idea. It's not going to work. I've been turned down by 7 manufacturers pretty rudely.
Okay. Okay. I get it.
The point was,
okay,
that way, my last opportunity or my last choice sometimes, it turned out to be the very best of opportunities.
Yeah.
I had freedom with this company that I wouldn't have had with the other more established brands because I was helping them grow. We both had a common goal. So, but my point being, I know myself, I was this close to quitting, literally quitting,
but you didn't.
And I didn't. Yeah. And, thank God, because everything that came after that defined the whole years of my business.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing. And that's what an entrepreneur does, right? When they're just close to quitting, they take that next step. Because we've all been there, right? We've all been there. If you are an entrepreneur and you say you've never been close to quitting, you're lying. Everybody, there have been moments that wake up in the middle of the night, like in a cold sweat, like, holy shit, what did I do? 3 kids, I had, a good job, health insurance, and I have nothing. And I was just trying to make it work. And there were many nights where I was just like, oh my, what did I do? But something kept pushing me forward because I knew I would figure it out. And it's almost like you have this unwavering belief in yourself, sometimes to the point of insanity. But
it appears that way to others.
It does appear that way to others, but it keeps you moving forward. And I always say, as long as you keep moving forward, you'll eventually get to where you want to go. Like they use the example, like, look at a kid, like a child learning to walk. They don't stop until they learn how to walk. They don't fall a bunch of times like, fuck this, I'm not going to walk. They keep getting up until they figure it out. That's the simplest example, but entrepreneurship is literally the same thing. Keep trying until you figure it out. Because if someone's done it, that means it can be done. You just have to figure out the way to do it. And I've always kind of come back to, it's like, if a kid can get up and from just a lunk of skin to like walk through just sheer grit and determination, why can't we?
Yeah, it's almost like if how the old phrase was, how long would you give a baby to walk?
Right. Until they can. Exactly, until they can.
We don't just, first couple tries and they fall over. Oh, he just can't do it.
And if you're putting a time on yourself, you don't want it that bad. Because it's that, what do they say? We overestimate what we can do in a year, but underestimate what we can do in 5.
Yeah.
And it's the truth. Like, we always think we can do all this shit in a year and say, oh, in 5 years I'm never gonna be able to, build a $10 million
weird
business.
Human quirk, isn't it?
It is, but it's the truth. And it's like, when you boil it down, it's just, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because that's what it comes down to. It's like, you're making a if you're not successful, if you start a journey of entrepreneurship and you're not successful in it, you chose something over it. Because it's really just about sheer effort and determination. If you want to figure it out, you can figure it out. There's AI now that can teach you how to do everything. Something got in the way. Was it relaxation? Was it family time? Was it priorities? Like, what is it? Something's getting in the way. Fear. But you got to figure out what that is. You got to figure out what that is and decide what's more important. If you want it, you find a way. If you don't, you find an excuse.
Yeah. And I know that sounds extremely simplistic, but it really kind of is.
It is that simple. And if you're, like, I started reading the book Man's Search for Meaning again. And that's a book I always read kind of when I think things are getting hard. So I'm like, they're not hard. This is not hard. Like, reading that book,
Frankl?
Viktor Frankl, the concentration camps, and just the
very humbling book.
That book makes you realize that I should not complain about shit. Like, there's these men went through hell and back and lived to write about it. And just the mental state they were in to keep themselves optimistic and to get through it. And I'm bitching because it gets a little bit hard because I have a bunch of shit to do. So I'm trying to start this whole separate business now. Like, shut up, dude. Like, you're fine. That's what I tell myself. Like, you're fine.
Yeah. I mean, it is a mental reshift. I mean, you can look at it like, I get to do this.
Exactly.
I get to have this perceived difficulty.
Yeah, exactly. Because what's the alternative? I'm working for someone else, and no way. I'm not doing it. And that's the other thing I always come back to. Like, what is the alternative? Like, hard compared to what? When people say it gets hard, say compared to what?
Well, the funny thing to me when people would say that is
Mhm.
I'd always say, man, I was in corporate America for a while and I went through some hard days
Yeah.
and it was for other people.
Right. That's exactly right. Yes, it was for other people, like, because they put me through it and I was benefiting them.
Or because other people.
Exactly. This is my own choosing. So it's a hard I'll take any day. It really is. But it's some people don't look at it. What you said is true. It's a shifting of your mental framework. As an entrepreneur, you have to truly change the way you see the world, or you won't be successful.
You think there's tells like if you look back at your life and your circles and circles as they've evolved, have you run into people in corporate circumstances that you would look at and reflect on and say, hey, that person probably has, I think they've got what it takes to really go out on their own. They may never see it, but they're built for it, I think.
Yeah.
Have you run across?
Oh yeah,
people
there's
like
definitely people like that. Yeah, but it's usually fear gets in the way, or a lack mindset. They don't think they can. There's not enough out there for me.
Explain lack mindset.
It's they think that there's a scarcity of resources, and there's abundance out there if you look for it.
It's
And
America.
It's America. Like you can make something out of nothing. But a lot of people have this lack mentality where it's like I can't do it. There's not enough out there for me. There's no business out there for me. There's not enough. So they're playing defense their whole life.
Where do we get that from?
I think that's just
Are we conditioned that way?
I think we are, right? Because think about when we grew up. Like you're conditioned, get a job, get a good job, be stable, make enough money, save an emergency fund, put in your 401k, retire at 65. No fucking way, no thanks. Like I want to do something different.
Right.
But I think we're conditioned that way because that's the system we came up in, right? We go to school,
the working class.
Yeah, we're the working class, and that's not, because when you eliminate, people come out of the working class, they become thinkers. Now they start exposing the way the system actually works. And in America, I truly believe we were set up to create a large working class to keep people in check. In most societies, it's like that, I think.
My father used to say that you either have a thinking mindset or you have a complacency mindset.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it.
I never really, when I was very young, I couldn't grasp
that.
But and part of his thinking mindset is to ask why. And I think at the roots of entrepreneurship, it's just someone who asks why more than others. Right.
The way to solve anything is to just ask questions. Be curious. That's it. Be curious. Like if you want to sell something to someone, don't try and sell them something. Just be curious about them, and then find what they need and give them that. But if you have a product or a service and you're trying to sell it to someone, and you're not curious about the person or their business, you're not going to sell them shit. Just be curious, ask questions. Like that's all I do. Like nothing I do is rocket science. It's literally having the ability to ask questions, watch a person, understand when that question hit a certain way. Okay, I'm going to explore this topic now.
Well, to provide the kind of law services that Cozza Law does, it's very investigatory. I mean, that's the right word. It's like you really need to understand this client.
Yeah, 100%.
You need the landscape, the pure landscape.
Yeah, absolutely. Because someone could come to me and say, I need this done. I'm like, okay, well, let's find out. Let me ask a couple questions. Like, I get it. And maybe it is what they need. But 8 out of 10 times, there's 10 other things I'm not even thinking about that are more important than what they're coming to me for.
Of course.
But I've got to be able to ask the questions to be comfortable enough to get uncomfortable with them. Because sometimes the questions can be uncomfortable.
And it's almost like at times I feel salespeople, and it's done honestly, they're trying to put a square peg in a round hole.
100%.
They don't even know the hole's round because they haven't even looked at it.
100% correct. Yes, that's exactly right. And that's a lot of what I've learned when I went to that. And this is stuff I've known, but it was reinforced at that mastermind I went to a couple weeks ago. It's ask questions, understand the problem before you provide a solution. Don't just create a solution and find a problem for it. Find the person's problem and then provide the solution. But I'm sold to all the time, right? I own a law firm. I'm a managing partner and founder. I get calls or cold emails once or twice a day, every day, for everything under the sun. The people that actually can stay on the phone with me are the ones that just ask me questions. They're curious. They're not trying to sell in. They're just curious. Then I'll have a conversation with them, and I'll be, I may listen to them. Like I had a call today with a marketing agency that I'm probably gonna end up working with for my personal brand and this advising stuff. But great conversation because she just started. I met her in Miami, and her and her business partner or her chief sales officer were on the phone, and we had an hour conversation. They weren't trying to sell me anything. They were just trying to ask me questions, what I want, what my why is, like what I'm trying to create. And what I liked about their company is they wanted people to be aligned with them. They said, we don't want to work with people who want to do it for the money. There's got to be a bigger purpose as to why they're doing it. And to me, like money wasn't even a word that came out of my mouth.
They want the relationship.
It was that. And they said, because they know how to work with people like that. They can create
certainly
the stuff.
So they're like-minded people.
Exactly. And that's kind of how we are as a firm, and me as an advisor. Like I'm going to work with people.
It's very obvious.
Yeah. That only fit our mold. And because like take the laws, the advisory stuff I'm doing now, I'm not going to be a cheerleader. I'm not going to, there's coaching too, but I'm not a coach. I'm going to tell you the things you probably don't want to hear, but need to hear, but I'm going to get you results. If you do the work I tell you that needs done, you'll get results, but it's not going to be easy. Like you're not paying me to be like, great job, buddy. This is awesome. Like you're the best leader in the world. It's like, no, you're doing dumb shit.
No, you're not a cheerleader. You're not there to be a cheerleader.
No, but I'm also there. I'm going to be a steady hand.
Correct.
Like I'm not going to come in and just beat everybody down. It's going to be like, no, like let's identify the things and realign some stuff. Cause I know how to solve problems quickly. It's just, they've got to be willing to go through that process.
Yeah. My issue throughout my life with either business coaches, and again, not all, but just ones I've kind of been exposed to. I often find, or either that or just a motivational speaker, because decades ago that was a big thing.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It's guised under something else now.
Yes,
yeah. Motivational speakers were thinking, and look, could be a great story there. Could be. Oftentimes, though, it goes back to what you were mentioning before, in that these good-natured folks often feel that their solution or their life plan or their idea of a positive movement is applicable to 95% of the public.
Right. No, you're right. Yes.
And I think it's arrogant, but I think also if you take the arrogant out of it, maybe it's just a little bit disingenuous.
Yeah, it's to me, it's because I've met people like this over my life that they're just trying to sell me something.
Yeah,
it's for the dollars. It's not for it's under the guise of they want to help and they want to change, but do they, or do they want to? It's either they are doing it for the money or doing it for the recognition of it. Where to me, it's like a good advice. Like if I'm a good advisor, you won't even know I'm there. You won't even know that I was in the room, because I'm going to get you to do all this stuff, and it's going to be, I'm the guy in the background.
Yeah, what about when you're gone?
Exactly. Like I'm the invisible force that comes in, shakes shit up, fixes it, and then walks out of the room and then lets you handle it. And just, I'm going to walk beside you. I don't need the credit for it. Like it's not about the money for me. It's about, can I make an impact and fix these companies and help these leaders realign the things they're doing?
Yeah, the compensation will always follow behind if the work is high quality.
Correct.
And you do enough of it.
Yeah, exactly. And to me, like the stuff I'm doing now, it's not going to be bargain. It's not going to be cheap, because it's going to work. And so I want people that are serious. I don't want someone that's, I'm going to pay, a couple $100 for some advice.
It isn't a negotiation.
No, it's like, this is the price. If you don't like it, that's fine. I'm not the right guy for you. It is what it is. But because I've been like, I look at myself when I pay for things. If I see a value in it, I'll pay. I don't even negotiate the price. I'm like, yeah, there's a value to this.
Sure. And
I'm at that level now where like I'm moving up levels. Like I'm paying for way more expensive stuff than I have been, because I just see there's, if I go from paying X to 10X for something, I'm usually getting 100X return from that 10X spend.
It's a smart purchase.
It's a way smarter purchase. Because if you're trying to appeal to the masses, right? Like in any business service, right? If you're trying to appeal to the masses, I'm not the masses anymore, right? I'm very specialized in what I'm doing. I'm at a certain level in my firm and in my life where that's like my business coach, Mike. I work with, I pay him a good bit of money, because he doesn't work with everybody. He works with certain types of people, and he knows people like me and how we're wired. Like, he's not trying to appeal to the masses.
Right.
I don't want someone who's going to work with every Joe Schmo off the street. It's a very select group of people because they're the right type of people that will get the results. And he's given me better results than I've had from anybody. Like, truly. But you've got to, you know, as an entrepreneur, you got to know what you're willing to spend to get the results. And that's where fear comes in. That's where scarcity comes in.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because some people say, oh, you know, they'll see a value in something, but then they'll say, well, it's the price. It's okay. Well, take the price side. Do you see the value? Oh, absolutely. I said, if it didn't cost anything, would you do it? 100%. I said, well, you're your own worst enemy then. You see the value. You know it's going to fix you. You're bitching where you are right now and have been for the past 3 years. I'm giving you the roadmap to change that. The only thing getting in the way is money. And the reason money's getting in the way is because you kept operating the same way you have been for the past 3 years.
Correct.
What are you going to change to do something different?
Well,
so you're not in this
afraid to change.
That's exactly what it's afraid to change.
And that's probably the deep hidden secret in most people's stagnant behavior.
Exactly. Yes.
They won't talk about it because that's something that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You wouldn't think that'd be a difficult thing to talk about, but I'm betting when it comes to talking about their tolerance of change, most entrepreneurs don't want to have that conversation.
Right. That's exactly right. And they always want to try and find an easy way out of the conversation. Like, oh, when I think about it, oh, I don't make rash decisions for that much money, you know, quickly. It's like, well, why? What do you have to think about? Like, do you see value in this? Well, yeah. Okay. Well, then what do you have to think about? If you don't have the money, say I don't have the money.
Story, right?
Okay. Then,
right.
And I'll tell you why you don't have the money, because you've been operating this way to the point where you are now talking to me because you know I can provide a solution to all of your problems. And yet you don't have the money and you're going to keep operating the same way. So we're going to have this discussion 2 years from now, and you're going to be in the same boat.
Of course.
So at a certain point in time, you got to bet on yourself, and that's the most people don't want to do. They get to a certain level of entrepreneurship where they get comfortable.
Well put.
Yeah,
that's kind of what it all is about.
It really is. Yeah, it truly is. Because I've been there. I've done that myself. Right? You get to a point where, like, I don't want to spend that money, but I'm like, wait a minute, no, I do, because I'm stuck at this level for a reason. I see the value in this service this person's providing to me. And yes, it's way more than I ever thought I would spend. However, if I'm going to change myself and change my business, something has to change.
Right.
And and that's what, like, when I started working with Mike, it was when I first started the firm, was making next to nothing and agreeing to $1,500 or whatever it was at the time a month to work with him. Was like, holy shit, that's like
big commitment.
That was a big commitment. But I said, if I don't do this, I'm going to be in the same position I am now a year from now.
Right.
I made that commitment, and looking back, I would have paid 10x.
Yeah, paid in spades.
100%.
Yeah.
But you got to get over that initial fear of like, oh, like, what if?
I look at that. I look at that too, where I encountered a little bit of that when I became a realtor, because I was so interested in advertising.
Yeah.
I was saying, why not get my face out there in a targeted way?
Yeah.
And I was doing it. And there were so many senior agents telling me that it's a huge waste of money. And you want to listen to what they say.
Sure.
You think maybe they've been through it.
Mm-hmm.
But targeted advertisement for my practice worked.
Yeah.
That's why I keep doing it.
So I mean, so you got to find what works for you.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, people, I always say, if money's getting in the way, you're never going to be successful. If you're letting the money it costs to do something get in the way of learning and growing, you're probably going to be stuck here 6 months from now or a year from now. Because at a certain point in time, you got to pull the trigger and spend the money.
Yes.
Like, you really do. And most people, like, they got to get over that initial fear.
Yeah, I was having a conversation last night with an old friend about the beginnings of my business when I got the Washburn contract. And I was telling him that I put this huge group of customized guitars on paper and sent it over as a purchase order, and they agreed to it. Okay. And now I saw the bill in front of me. Right. But I knew that it was going to take a lot of hands crafting with this small group of employees that worked in Chicago.
Okay.
So I said, well, how can I get them on my side?
Yeah.
Anything, right?
Mm-hmm.
I said, I'm going to buy them all leather jackets with my business name on it and their name.
Yeah.
I got the bill for that. I was like, oh, but I said, and you know, to this day, I'm in contact with some of them. Mm-hmm. They send me pictures that I'm still wearing that leather jacket out. It made such a lasting impression that they would go to fucking war for me.
Yeah.
They were
Exactly.
sending me special deals and doing a little extra on my guitars,
Yep.
which yielded me what?
More money.
money.
Yeah, you'll get it back. Like that's what I've learned. The more money you spend for the right things, you'll always get a return.
It's a good lesson learned.
Yeah.
That was at the beginning part of my entrepreneurial journey.
Yeah.
That was a good lesson to learn.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I mean, those are the things that truly matter. Like it's because I look at things I spent money on over the years. I'm like, I'm like, well, how am I going to spend this money? I did. And I'm like, holy shit, the value I got. Like, cause you always have that initial sticker shock, right? I remember the first time I spent like $1,000 on going to a mastermind. I was like, fuck, $1,000. That's a lot of money. Now it's like, I would pay that,
of course,
in spades because just the value I got.
Of course.
But it also comes down to implementing what you learn. Like that's one thing I've learned too.
It's just not the spend.
Exactly. Most people say they're going to spend this money and they're going to get a magic pill taken. They're going to be, it's like, no, here's the roadmap. You've got to do the work. So if you're going to that's truly why, like the stuff I'm doing now, I'm charging a higher price because they're going to pay that. I know they're going to do the work and then they're going to get a 10 to 30x return on the money they spent. Guaranteed, because they're going to do the work. If I was charging a couple $100 for something,
yeah,
people come try. I'm like, okay, I got some pieces of information, and they move on. They don't see it. But if you say, hey, if I do a workshop, which we're doing in October, like it's going to be $1,000 a person, spend $1,000 for 6 hours, and you're going to get a ton of value. I know you're going to leave that, and you're going to implement some of the things we put in place.
Yeah,
and you're going to see after 2 weeks that you got exponentially more than that back just in your time back alone.
Yeah, that you're acquiring stuff that really moves the needle.
Correct. Yeah, like I'm not going to waste my time if it doesn't move the needle. It's not going to be a motivation. I'm not going to do motivational talks at these workshops. It's going to be like, no, like here's a tool, a tactic, a way to do things, a way to operate. Like these are things you can take today and implement. Not theories.
It's got to be substance, and I guess that's where my aversion to a lot of the fluff that I see and I've always seen out there. I get called on for a lot of business coaches and and it wasn't even the coaches that called me a lot. It was a lot of $500 for this lecture, $1,000 for this weekend, but literally expecting me to do the research on who these people are.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas you think their approach would be completely different. That's why I was always it just seemed too much hucksterism.
I always look at when I'm deciding what to go to, it's like, who is the person and what have they done? If they're wildly successful and they've done shit that I want to learn how to do, I'm going to pay whatever it costs.
Of course.
Like if they're ahead of me, or they figured out something I haven't figured out, or they just have a presence about them that I know I'm going to be in the right room. That's what matters to me. Like that's what matters. Like it's like being in the right room, because success rubs off and success leaves clues. And if you put yourself in the right room with the right people and the right mindset, whatever it costs, you will make that back at a minimum 10x. I guarantee it.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. I mean, everything I've done from one of the first masterminds I went to out in Lake Tahoe for this. That's when I published my book. Had I not went to that, I probably wouldn't have got my book done. That led to all the other things it led to. But I spent, $3,000 to go to this thing, plus travel expenses. One time when I wasn't making much money, but I made the investment in myself. I said, okay,
it's beautiful, isn't it?
It was awesome. It was a cool experience. And it was just, but I was in a room with we stayed at a lake house together. There was, I think, 8 people, and it was just being in a house with 8 people, all different levels of their career, and just talking business and the stuff I learned in that weekend.
I bet
was worth $300,000. But I had to implement it. I had to remember it, implement it, and execute. And I did, and it worked.
Yeah, this is slightly different, but similar. I remember insisting that when I was going to do like custom designs for musicians, that my insistence was to the owner of Washburn, you got to get me in the room with them.
Yeah.
Well, and the pushback always was, well, these musicians, these rock stars, whoever they are, they're all, they're moody. And I didn't do it because I was starstruck. I did it because I wanted to hear it right from their mouth. I
Yeah.
wanted to get them to go like this
Mhm.
on my idea or say no.
Yeah.
And, or if there's even an aversion to something, I don't
Yeah.
want to go down that road if they really don't like it.
Yeah.
And I just didn't trust secondhand, thirdhand news. I
Yeah.
wanted to hear it from the source.
I get
And
it.
that practice served me well.
Yeah.
Taking the extra money to go out and fly out or
Yeah.
whatever, to be in the same room,
Mhm.
because it was a good business lesson that, you know, if you're going to commit serious money to anything, you
Yeah.
got to understand it to the best of your ability.
100%.
Unless I'm talking to the artist that's going to have their name on this instrument.
Yep.
Why wouldn't I do that?
It's exactly right. Yeah. You want to be
It's a
able to.
no-brainer, the biggest no-brainer in the world.
Yeah. And again, and that's, but that's doing the hard things, right? And that's where people get caught up. They don't, you know, talking to the owner would have been easier, right? Be like, no, I want to talk to the people that's actually going to matter to,
Correct.
like actually going to move the needle. Like talking to the owner is going to tell you something, but it's not going to give you the real information. Talking to people that are actually going to play the guitar and
Of
use the guitar
course.
is going to move the needle.
They're
when
going to
it
help
comes to
market it.
sales.
They're going to sell it. It's part of
Exactly.
their, you know, it's to an artist, their instrument's part of their persona, their look.
Yeah.
You
that's-
know, it's a
that's-
lot of it's aesthetics. And if I'm
Yeah.
not going to throw something over to them, it's the wrong color, the
Yep.
wrong shape, the wrong hardware.
Yeah. It's disadvantage.
I wanted to take the guessing game out as much as I could, because I wasn't a guy with a just mountains of money.
Yeah.
Every spend was
Oh yeah.
significant.
Oh,
I couldn't
yes.
afford to make an $80,000 mistake.
No,
you know,
no.
and it's,
And
yeah.
in business, you have to look at every dollar you spend, right? You don't want to be careless and frivolous with the dollars you spend, but you got to
I wasn't
know.
afraid to spend it though.
No, you can't be afraid to spend it, but you got to be
Balance.
thoughtful in your spend. Like, I'm not just gonna go spend shit
Correct.
just to spend shit. Like
Correct.
but I'll
Unless it's on
spend.
Amazon.
Yeah, well, yeah, those are small items, man. Small items.
Yeah,
But-
it's the small items.
But it's one of those things where, like, if you know, if it's a $10,000 like mastermind or marketing and it makes sense to me, I'll think through it and spend. If I know I'm gonna get the value out of it, like 100%.
Yeah,
Like it's just will I get the value in multiples of what I spend? If I will, it makes sense because I know I'll get it back. If there's an ROI, that's how I look at everything.
what do you think is the biggest challenge right now that that not new entrepreneurs, but
Mhm.
let's just say a growing entrepreneur
Mhm.
faces?
Noise. That's what it is. Noise. Because there's so many things out there. There's with AI, there's so many tools and things you can do, and it's in automations, and hey, we can make your business simple. We can automate this. We can do. There's just so much noise in the marketplace. Entrepreneurs and the founders that I've worked with, they become the bottleneck because of distractions. There's so many, like they want to try the new thing. No, let's figure out what's broken first. We're trying a bunch of new stuff. Your shit all may be good. We just may need to realign some things and make some shifts. We don't need to overhaul everything, because that's what happens. You start getting again, one call a day or one email a day from a new company doing AI voice agents to take over my phone system. I'm like, well, okay, our phone system is good. Like, I don't need to replace it yet. But if you show me that there's a benefit to it, maybe. But it's being able to cut through the noise. Because right now, everybody's a marketing agency. Everyone's an AI agency. Everyone's doing everything. And you've got to be able, as a business owner, to cut through the noise and understand what it is you exactly need and who is the person or the company you should get it from. That's the biggest challenge I see right now.
It's going to get even noisier, probably.
100%. Yeah. I mean, absolutely it is. I mean, just look at how many AI tools are out there compared to 6 months ago. Like literally compared to 6 months ago. Like I can pretty much automate majority of my day right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like the tactical
Mhm.
administrative stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just build an automation today. I use Zapier. So when someone books, like if I have like a discovery call, if someone books a discovery call in Calendly, I get an email.
Right.
Well, but I also want a Slack message. So I built it. It literally took me 30 seconds
Mm-hmm.
to plug everything in. So anytime someone books a strategy call for my advisory services, it sends me a direct Slack message.
Right.
Hey, this person booked a call.
Right.
So I don't have to go to my email. I get it on my phone. It pops up on my screen. Oh, okay, new call scheduled. Like that's how simple things are becoming. But I could have, when I was playing around in Zapier, I've used it. I could have sat there for 4 hours and just said, I'm going to build all kinds of cool shit. But it's like, no, I want one thing. I'm going to go in there and do that and get out. I have to cut through the noise. I have to be very focused on what I'm doing. more now than ever. Like truly more now than ever. Like like I put a new routine in place every Sunday night. I literally block out my calendar for the entire week, like time to think, time to do deep work, time to do marketing and business development, time to look for new tools. Like everything is booked out now, just because that helps me cut through the noise.
Let me ask you this: a new entrepreneur getting some success, do you think there's a point where they need to be honest with themselves on how good they are at blocking out the noise? And do they need to guard the gateway to access to them, or even the after work to guard the gateway to their mind in terms of effectively managing, for lack of a better phrase, just managing their time?
Yeah. Oh yeah. 100%. I mean, start with the mind. Everything starts there, right? So if you're not guarding what you're putting into your brain, you're wasting, you're becoming inefficient, right? If you don't know, like anything I watch on TV or read, it's for a purpose. Like if I'm aimlessly watching something, it's because I want to aimlessly watch and not think.
Correct.
It's not just because I'm bored. It's like, I need to let my brain rest. This is how my brain rests, by watching people camping in a van, like stupid shit like that. When I'm reading things purposefully. Like that's how I look at it. So I guard my brain. I've now even started guarding my time. So I've had to, like when I came back again, I realized how important it is to guard my time. So now, and there was an individual.
Has that been tough for you as you've grown?
It's really tough, because here's why. Like I want to help everybody, but in our boardroom breakfast a couple of weeks ago, one of the gentlemen said something very profound, which I love. Because I was talking about, like, there are clients I worked when I first started the firm. And I was taking everybody's call. Now they'll text me and expect me to respond to them immediately. And it's for like, and they're still like very cost conscious. So it's like, and I want to help, but it's like, I don't have the time to get back to everybody when I'm dealing with larger clients, and someone's going to, say, is this going to only cost like $200? Like, that's not for me to even deal with.
Right.
That kind side of me wants to help.
I understand.
He said, you got to remember, people look at you how they knew you, not how you are right now. And I was like, that's it. So it's now just shifting that and saying, what I've been doing, and saying like, hey, so-and-so, great to hear from you. Right. I've included so-and-so on this text. They can help you with this matter, and just put them in contact. So that's what I've been like. People that email me cold,
they call that delegation.
but I have to do it in a way that feels good to me.
Of
right.
course.
So now if someone emails me a small question, I'll forward it to someone on my team, say, hey, can you handle this for me? And just let me know when it's done. So it's and no one, as long as they know someone from my team's handling it.
Yeah, it's not an offensive response.
No, but it's truly like, there are certain things I just have to guard my time. My time is valuable, and I want to be able to help everybody, but I can't help everybody.
Right.
There's only so much time in a day. So that's
a hard lesson for a lot of entrepreneurs. It was for me.
It's extremely hard.
It was for me. Limiting access. At the peak of our busyness, I had two other people there working with me. When it came to shipping questions or anything that was rudimentary, I just did not have the time during those moments to get with them. And I wasn't good at delegating.
Yeah.
And it hurt me.
No, it
hurt my sanity.
It's hard. And one of the people I was talking to when I was in Miami, they said something which I loved, and I took it home and implemented. They said, if you're the owner of the business and someone is emailing you or calling you asking you what the price is, you shouldn't even be dealing with them. They're the wrong type of client, or you're the wrong person to work with them.
I see that.
I'm like, you're 100% right, because I come at a cost. Like, I've been doing this 20 plus years. Like, my hourly rate and what I do is a lot more expensive because of the value I bring. Like, I know exactly what to do and how to fix it, and fix it quick. Right. But if you're asking me the price, you don't see my value. So it doesn't make sense for us to work together.
And when they even understand the value.
Right. And now they're saying I'm going to pay whatever, I just need to know for a budget, that's different. But if someone's like, hey, is this only going to cost this? Or they think they know how much it should be or how long it should take. I'm like, well, we may not be the right firm for you. And I had to get to that point, because
certainly.
And it's hard because I want to help everybody. Certainly. But I can't.
Well, that's your first response. That's your built internal mechanism.
Yeah. Like, I'm just kind by nature. I want to help everybody, but I realize that I can't do that because it's not doing a service to my other clients that absolutely know my value and don't even question it.
Yeah. I learned a lesson early on as a realtor. There was a friend of one of my family members that already had an agent. And they were frustrated with that agent. And as a friend, they wanted me to come down and give me their opinion of their home,
Okay.
not of the agent's work.
Sure. Okay.
I had no delusions I was getting the business.
Right.
So I'm like, oh, sure. I'll go down. I talked to him and I gave them my thoughts on decorating and things and showing schedules and, cleaning up the cat pee and things like that. But I was driving home and like going, I just like spent 2.5 hours with strangers that are already contracted by another agent.
Yeah.
And I know my first response is always to be as helpful as I can be, but this was not a good, this was not a good use of my time.
Yeah, exactly.
Selfishly for me.
No, but sometimes we have to be selfish as business owners because
I learned a lesson.
Yeah, you have to be. I mean, you do it, and it's hard because if you are a service-oriented leader or entrepreneur, like you want to serve and help everybody, that is who I am.
Yeah.
I also realize that that's an impossibility at the stage of life I'm in right now.
Correct.
Because it's just impossible. And even when, even close friends of mine, it's like, yeah, like I just can't get to it right now. And not because I'm an asshole or not because I don't want to help. It's just like, I have a lot of priorities right now. I'm running the firm. I'm doing the work. I'm building another business. I have kids. I have, so much going on in my life. And I got to prioritize things. And I can't be like every moment of my day is scheduled. Like literally every moment of my day. Like I was on a call on the way here.
A week.
Yeah. I mean, truly 7 days a week. But I love it like that. But people have to understand there's going to be certain things I just can't do for you.
Sure.
But there's other people on my team that can. And I'm happy to connect you with them.
Yeah. It's just managing the growth, right?
It's managing growth. It's managing expectations. It's managing how people see me. Like how people perceive me. Like that's the hardest thing.
And that will continue to evolve.
Yeah, that's kind of the challenge I have now is like shifting into this advisor role. Like because people still see me as just a lawyer. It's like, well, no, this whole other thing I do is like a different skill set. It incorporates that, but this is a way bigger impact. But I've got to get them to see it that way now. Because that's really who I am. Like lawyer is like part of me, but truly the advisor part of me that's really how I'm wired. To like go into a company, just fix the problems and fix the leadership and fix the people. And I do it very simply because I could see I've always been able to do that. But it's people just look at me as the lawyer and they don't see this whole other side of me. So it's this, this brand shifting I have to do to really come back to who I truly am.
Sure.
But it's a challenge, definitely.
I once read a phrase that said, if I'm getting it correctly, you'll never manage your availability if you do not manage your accessibility.
That is a great quote. Never heard that. That is so true.
You probably guess who it came from.
Jim Rohn. Yeah, I mean, I can see. You'll never manage your availability if you don't manage your accessibility.
So you manage your accessibility.
That's true. You're right, because you can't be accessible to everybody, even though I want to be. But I can't.
Logistically, it's impossible.
It is literally impossible. Yeah. It is truly. Yeah, it's really impossible. Like I look at my calendar today. Like I had maybe 45 minutes of time in the day to just myself, where I wasn't meeting with someone, on a phone with someone, or doing something for someone. Like 45 minutes from the time I got up from 4 o'clock, which I work out in the morning, till I'm done with this podcast. I've had a 45-minute hunk of my day where like I could do things I needed to do,
like eat,
go to the bathroom, take a deep breath, like walk around, like that type of stuff. So, but I'm structured, like that's how I live. So I have to even manage it even more as we grow and grow even more. I have to manage that accessibility a lot better. It's hard. It's a challenge.
This was good.
Yeah, this was a good one, man. Definitely. It's still hot as hell in here, though.
I'm working on it.
Man. I know, man.
I hope it falls right around
air conditioner or
falls right around the corner. I probably could pull one right next door to that, and then hose it over here, maybe.
Just going under the table, so it's just blowing air at me the whole time because it is like. Thank God there's no camera behind me
today.
No, I know. But I'm saying thank God there's no cameras behind me because my back's probably always sweaty. I mean, that's how Miami, dude. Miami was hot. So hot.
Their humidity is next level. It's
like next level.
Yeah.
Like you walk outside, I'm like, I'm wet. They
live like that every day.
Yeah. And it was, holy shit, was it hot. But again, like I love the city, and it's And again, I encourage everybody, if you know,
That's
if you're trying to lift up your game or elevate your game, pay to be in rooms with bigger people.
Yeah, that's a good life lesson.
It was, I mean, truly, like, I got, and I did that Zoom call a couple, last week, and a couple people got on, and I was in just the conversation I had with them about what I learned. Like, oh my God, this was so much value. Like, I was just sharing it with them, the stuff I learned. And it's like, I absolutely got $100,000 of value in those 2 days, easily.
I bet
that I can implement, today that I already have.
You're going to be on an episode of their show.
Yeah, Legacy Makers. It's so they started airing them. So it's on Apple TV and I think Prime through this app called Success TV. So they have an app within an app.
I'm familiar with it.
So it's on there. My episode, because I just got all the final footage to them. So I don't think it's probably going to air till, I'm assuming, like October. So I'll know, they'll let me know that. But I had all the B-roll to them. I just sent them photos. I did the podcast interview when I was down there. So I'm excited. It'll be cool. And I met some cool people down there, like really cool stories that are going to be on the show, like inspiring stories of people. So it was just an honor just to be part of it. Really, it is.
It's exciting. I'm excited for you.
Yeah, thanks, man. You'll be. I mean, your interview should make it on the show too. I mean,
let's like,
no,
lay on the cutting room floor.
Not at all, man.
We'll do it again next week, bud. Unless it's like 110.
Yeah, then you won't see me there. We'll do it remote. We'll do it over Zoom.
All right, pal. Thank you.
See you,
all right, we're out.